My name is Tyler Hinton, and I'm a Whitewater C1 Slalom racer. The reason I got into it was I was kind of always interested in outdoor sports. I was a snowboarder for a while, and then I found out when I was around 10 years old that my uncle used to paddle whitewater just for fun back when he was younger. So from there I kind of got an interest in it because I always kind of wanted to be like him. And then we found Chris Wiegand of the Front Range Paddling Association, and from there it just kind of took off.
There you go! Go up, 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 up!
Tyler is a unique athlete. He's been the Colorado River Meister, has also been the North American Junior Olympic overall champion in several disciplines of paddle sports. I've been working with Tyler since he was 9 years old. We try to start kids between 9 and 11 years old, give them that experience to where by the time they're 14 at the junior class, they have until 18 years old competing at the international junior class. So ideally they have 4 to 5 years experience by the time they get there, preparing them to compete against the world's best. Tyler is a unique individual where he's been exposed to different types of paddle sport, whether it be flat water canoeing to marathon, wild water, slalom, and freestyle. And together he's really found a unique ability to find the strength from each one of those and pull it into his slalom skills, which is the Olympic discipline.
From Chris, he's sort of developed me into a person as well with my dad and my mother, but what he's done to me, he's taught me the basic steps of technique, and then he's also given me the freedom to develop it in my own way.
Go, 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 go,
so I'm sort of, every time I get on the water, I'm inventing a new technique to try out for myself.
In November 2006, I first started, and Tyler's initiation into international sport was I was the coach of the Chinese canoe kayak team, and I brought my athletes from China over to the States and selected my top athletes from my club to take these athletes around and be their mentors and collaborate together, sharing an uncommon language and finding the commonalities through whitewater to then be able to interact with one another. Then in November 2007, we went to China with our group of American athletes to live with the Chinese Olympic team and compete against them in the Chinese National Games, and allow the kids to show that through kayaking they can really provide full immersion for that local population into the sport.
Well, my first trip I took to paddle is I went down to Texas when I was about 12 years old, and that trip was probably a crucial one for my development. It got me hooked on the sport, and then from there, 2 years later, I ended up going to China, and then from there I've traveled to almost every continent except for South America.
Just within our team, the three things that I see in Tyler that are unique is his drive, his enthusiasm for learning, the process of learning, and his commitment to the sport.
I think the biggest benefit, and what I've seen with Tyler, is kind of that complete person, the mind, the body, and the spirit. This is an event where if you're a novice like me and you go on one of these Olympic courses, you will die. And so there is a thrill, there is a true adrenaline, and also in nature, a real sense of sort of spirituality. At the same time, he happens to be blessed physically, so the body is, his body is ideal for the sport. And mentally, he gets challenged by different river conditions, different weather conditions, and he gets to see the world and learn about stuff you don't learn in a classroom.
I go to school at Alexander Dawson. I am a sophomore.
The Dawson School has been really good with Tyler. They actually give him a chance to take classes and do work ahead before he makes a trip. He can do classwork or studies while he's on the road, and then catches up when he gets back. And he's managed to make decent grades. Chris is really a key part of that as a coaching requirement. Tyler has to maintain and be average.
For me, traveling and schoolwork, it hasn't been that big of a challenge because my teachers at the Alexander Dawson School have been extremely flexible, giving me work beforehand, letting me turn in work a little later, and posting all their homework assignments online. For me, traveling abroad, it had a big life-changing effect on me because it's opened my eyes to the way other cultures work. I don't just think about like the American way being the only way.
For the future for Tyler, I really hope to continue along the path that we have in self-discovery and really maintaining that fascination for the process. I think the big thing that a lot of people moving toward the Olympics, it becomes robotized and they really forget about the fascination and the pure admiration for the medium that they are working with. And here with the river, he can really continue discovering more about himself, not just the competitive pursuits, but constantly learning and reminding himself about who he is as a human being and how he can interact with people through his sport to help overcome their own adversities.
Observe, we got heat for the streets.